Audio Jungle. Audio
Chapter 17. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me,
Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me,
Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords, and King of kings. And they that are with him are called, and chosen, and faithful.
And he saith unto me,
The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city.
Ever singing about the Babylon, Babylon, whoa. It's the Babylon system. Living in some dark and some serious times. Man go sell his soul for some nickel and dimes. Yeah, eating all the bread they call vanity. Sipping all the juice from the sin city called Babylon. Yeah, spreading the disease. You better watch yourself before you catch it like a sneeze in the breeze. Yeah, he roaming through the air, hey, filling all the airway and the atmosphere. So watch out, watch out, watch out. Without a doubt, yeah, he coming in full force. East, west, north and south. Yeah, he coming every fashion, every mode and every kind to conquer the world and infiltrate your mind. Wanna say he coming real cool. He's in school as a tool. He making his own rule and he how he like a fool. His selection, using scientific integration. No talk creation, yes, the evolution. And we take it, we pack it, we put it in we head. Instead of seeking the word of God instead. But the beginning of knowledge is the word of God. So to get brainwashed by the knowledge, a man skipping them out. Hey, living in some dark and some serious times. Man go sell his soul for some nickel and dimes. Yeah, eating all the bread they call vanity. Sipping all the juice from the sin city called Babylon. Yeah, spreading the disease. Wanna better watch yourself before you catch it like a sneeze in the breeze. Yeah, he roaming through the air, hey, filling all the airway and the atmosphere. So now listen to the young boy, them talk. They get the skinny jeans and they cutting them mohawk, watching blues, getting clues how to catch the girls. Using pearls have their head in a twirl and the girl watching MTV, batting in the life after fake reality. With pedicure, manicure, all kind of cure. But from the Hollywood addiction, them can't find a cure, no. What about the music invading the place? Teaching we to live life like a disgrace. Talking about the guns and the drugs and say no sex with a stranger. Live like them comes with the money, pride, fortune and fame. Do as thou wilt and that is the aim of the game. It's a maze to keep you in a daze like a puppet on a string. Control your place, control your place, them control your place, control your place. Give it a boom, hey. Living in some dark and some serious times. Man go sell his soul for nickel and dimes. Yeah, eating all the bread they call vanity. Sipping all the juice from the sin city called Babylon. Yeah, spreading the disease. You better watch yourself before you catch it like a sneeze in the breeze. Yeah, he roaming through the air, hey, filling all the airway and the atmosphere. Cause say all them wanna do is disguise and destroy the truth, yeah. Everything them say just to misguide and mislead the way, yeah. All them really want is to see you wasted away, yeah. All them really want is to see you bound to the chain and chain from the bound of truth, hey. All them wanna do is disguise and destroy the truth, yeah. Everything them say just to misguide and mislead the way, yeah. All them really want is to see you wasted away, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, all them really want is to see you bound to the chain and chain from the bound of truth. You gotta stand firm against the Babylon system. Sing, yeah, you gotta stand firm against the Babylon system. Whoa, 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 stand in strength. better watch yourself before you catch it like a sneeze in the breeze. Yeah, you roaming through the air, hey, feeling out the airway and the atmosphere. So watch out. Say watch out. My friends, I say to watch out. My friends, I say to watch out. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. My friends, I say to watch out. My friends, I say to watch out. My friends, I say to watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. So watch out, watch out. You gotta watch out. Watch your back and watch it out now. Watch your back and watch your foot and watch it out, watch it out, watch it out now.
The 17. Now I know there are a number of individuals who have done many things with this chapter, and I've used it to teach against a number of different religious groupings. And that is not our intention, but at the same point in time we just want to deal with what the scripture is actually putting weight on. So we're looking first of all at the scarlet woman. Notice her color is red. Shows the murderous intent, or covered also in blood, similarly like the beast that she's also riding to as well, where you actually have that same concept. That is it, same concept. So 1 to 3, chapter 17 and 18 pictures the judgment of God on a system, an empire, or a city that is called Babylon the Great. It is more detailed description of the seventh vial, the great whore. The name Babylon the Great in verse 5 of chapter 17 and 18 shows a judgment. Now, I need to also deal with what is called the Babylon matrix. The entire Babylon system does not start here in 17 and 18. The entire Babylon matrix starts in Daniel chapter 2. Nebuchadnezzar gets a dream where he sees this entire image of a man that starts with gold, silver, brass, then iron, and the last with iron and clay. And Daniel tells him that he is the head of the system. He says, you are Nebuchadnezzar, the head of gold. So that's where the Babylonian system starts. It starts in Daniel chapter 2 and has run through time, starting with the Babylonians, went to the Medes and Persian, then to the Grecian Empire, then the Roman Empire, and has continued throughout. The Roman Empire first of all went political, then it became religious. It continues to run even today. It will run through the tribulation period and come to an end at this point in time. Alright? So when you look at Babylon being mysterious, it is mysterious because it is not just talking about this empire here, but it is seeing the entire thing in all of it. That's why it's multitudes and people and nation. One of the other things that is also told, you remember that Daniel tells Nebuchadnezzar, he said, you are the king of kings, which means Nebuchadnezzar is a king over the Babylon Empire, but he's also the king over the Persian Empire because the entire system is the head of it. So he's a king over the Persian Empire, which is the silver. He's also the king over the Bronze Empire, which is the Grecian Empire. And he's the king over the entire Roman Empire, which is the iron. So he said, listen, there is going to be a king over the brass, a king over the silver, there's a king over the iron, and you are the king over the gold. But you being the king over the gold is the king over all. So that's why the office called King of Kings is what Nebuchadnezzar and Nebuchadnezzar alone has it. However, in chapter 4 of the book of Daniel, and I know a couple of people have asked for the Daniel manual. If you still have that interest, we have about 10 copies in the back. You can check with me after on that. In chapter 4, Nebuchadnezzar becomes proud. And Nebuchadnezzar actually is driven from men for 7 years. Again, just like a tribulation period. He goes through your own tribulation. He go nails, he go long here, he lost his mind, and he goes like a wild beast. And so on like that. Until after 7 seasons, or the same 7-year period, he come to recognize that there is a God in heaven. And the closing of chapter 4, Nebuchadnezzar recognizes that although he is the king of kings on the earth, which is he is the tree that is planted everybody, he is the empire that everybody come and build their nest under. Right? Although he is a king of kings on earth, Nebuchadnezzar bows his knee and recognizes that there is a God in heaven. Are you there with me? And what Nebuchadnezzar does in the closing of chapter 4, he relinquishes the title called King of Kings to the God of heaven. Are you there with me? So the only person that had the office, had the authority, and had the right to transfer the office of King of Kings was Nebuchadnezzar, because that was his position, and he gave it over to the God of heaven. That's why when you see here, you will notice when Jesus is coming, the scripture says Jesus is the King of Kings. Why? Because that is the office that Nebuchadnezzar already transferred to the God of heaven. You all understand what's going on? Alright? So there is no arguing that's coming. When you look at how it's mentioned in scripture, it just makes a statement. In other words, that Jesus can actually come with the authority given to him by the person who is the head of the Babylonian system, which is the entire Babylon matrix. The head of the entire Babylonian system, which is a King of Kings, have already relinquished it to the God of heaven, and he is the God of heaven. That's the reason why he can now come and destroy the system and become the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, because it is given to him by a human legally. Are you there with me? Alright? Legally. So let's move on. The waters represents the various peoples and nations on the earth. In verse 15 we actually saw that. The woman sits upon, in a sense, she has worldwide influence. And this is not just looking at our generation and our period of time in the church age. You've got to push your mind from the time of Nebuchadnezzar to present and beyond. Whenever the system operates, it sits wherever on the planet, no matter what nation, what country, what people group, what religious body, it always sits on national influence. It is able to influence everybody. So you notice that she has worldwide influence. Her harlotry and fornication here refers to physical immorality, but more likely spiritual idolatry or apostasy. The kings and the inhabitants of the earth have opened their arms to her influence. Remember, Babylon is the entire Gentile time from Daniel chapter 2. Come back. Please, for those of you all that might be in our society and looking at this DVD, when we talk about the Babylon system, we're not talking about the Trinidad and Tobago police. I know Babylon coming. When we're talking about Babylon in scripture, we are talking about the entire Gentile block that runs from Daniel chapter 2 all the way down to Revelation 19. Alright, when Christ will come back. The king and the inhabitants of the earth opens their arms and they engage themselves in all of her activity. The beast that she's riding upon is exactly the same beast we've been studying in chapter 13, which is of course the entire Antichrist system, the Antichrist and his empire. Her sitting on the beast represents the intimate association between the Antichrist and the harlot in association of support, influence, and control. It includes the empire of Rome, and that is not, we're talking here political Rome in its original state from BC 63. Coming all the way down, even with its current religious operation too as well. Alright? In verses 4 to 6, the elegant clothing and jewelry of the woman shows her wealth and attractiveness. But her activities are filthy and abominable to God. Her mystery is called Babylon the Great. And again, what she termed mystery, it is not just talking about one particular city, one particular people group, or one particular religious group. It is talking about an entire system that has snaked itself and traveled itself from country to country, or people group to people group. So it can be very difficult sometimes to track it. But here is how you are able to track it. It has one characteristic. And that is, no matter where it operates and what block of time it operates in, it always goes after the blood of saints, and it goes after what matter them that have the testimony of Jesus. And that is one of the underlying things you can trace the Babylonian system. It is any religious or political system with worldwide influence that seeks to devour and slaughter them that have the testimony of Jesus, or what we call Christians, or persecute the Jewish nation, or go after God's people, whatever category of God's people that is it. Alright, very important. Much of the world's idolatry can be traced back to the historical Babylon, or even the Tower of Babel. And by the way, the word Babylon comes from the place of confusion, which is the Tower of Babel, including the mother-child cult that can be traced back to that time, Baal worship and so on like that. As the fountainhead of idolatry, Babylon, the harlot, is the mother of harlots and the abomination of the entire earth. So yes, it has traveled from Babylon to Persia, to Greece, to Rome, and has spread itself. The harlot has killed many of God's saints and Christian martyrs throughout the age, and will do so again during the tribulation period. Those of you all that have studied some of church history, you'll remember when people were translating the scriptures into English, the religious group of the day will hunt them down and kill them. There was one family was arrested and killed, the entire family. You know why? Because they taught their children to say the Our Father's Prayer in English. And they were killed for such a case. In Rome, prostitutes in public wear on their forehead or frontlet the names for others to see. So this is a culture that is in Rome. And that is, how do you know a prostitute in Rome? Is that they will put their names, they will stamp their names on their forehead. And that culture, that Roman system is pulled back here into the scriptures. Chapter 7 and 8. Verses 7 to 18 contains more detailed explanation of the entity depicted symbolically as the woman and the beast. The beast as an empire goes through 4 stages from a viewpoint of the beginning of the tribulation period. It was, that means it existed in a form of the ancient Roman Empire. It is not, that means at some point in time around the 4th, 5th century it failed to continue to run as a political system until the Antichrist gained worldwide authority during the tribulation period. It will ascend out of the bottomless pit. That is, Satan will raise up the Antichrist and his false Messiah to bring worldwide rule. And the Antichrist will be cast into perdition, which is the lake of fire. Unbelievers will wonder in amazement at the revival of the power and glory of the political Roman Empire. Verse 9. 7 heads on the 7 beasts represents also 7 mountains on which the woman sits. And there maybe just 1 or 2 locations on the planet where you will have mountains surrounding cities. And the capital of Rome is one of those places that actually have 7 mountains around the entire one. And there's one that most prophecy teachers have indicated that where you look where it is, you actually have 7 mountains around the city. So it is one of the hot cities that will be considered as a good candidate for this. If you want to find out, you can miss the rapture, during the tribulation, you can confirm. Let us know if that is the case. But this is one of the qualifying factors. Alright? The woman apparently represents idolatry, anti-God civilization, centered in Rome, but with worldwide influence. The identification of the 7 heads as Rome shows that the beast will have a major base of operation in Rome. In Daniel 9:26, it talks about the people of the prince that shall come are Romans. Remember, the Romans were the one that destroyed Jerusalem, and most likely the Roman people or the Roman nation will be the one that will rise again in the future. Chapter 10, verse 10. 7 kings represents 7 rulers of the world empire, and there are different people have tried to put it within the Roman Empire and name the 10 Caesars. But I want for you to be able to see this, in that it talks about how there are 7, 5 are fallen. So if you look at all of the world empires and Egypt, you remember Joseph went down to Egypt. You remember Assyria? Assyria was the people that Samson and so on will have dealt with. So you had Egypt, Assyria, Babylon is where Daniel comes to be seen. Babylon, Medes and Persian, Greece, Rome, and the revived Roman Empire. So there are 7 kings, 1 to 7. 5 are fallen. That's Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medes and Persian, Greece. 5 are fallen. One is, when John is writing, the Roman Empire is in power. So he's saying one is, that's Rome. And one is yet to come. The one that is yet to come is the revived Roman Empire in the future. Are you there with me? Alright? Now it goes on to say that the beast that was and is not, he is the eighth and is of the seventh and goes into perdition. When the revived Roman Empire comes into power, which is the entire system, the Antichrist will now become the king over the seventh. So he is called the eighth. Because he is, if you have seven, which is the revived Roman Empire, then you set him up, he is eight. But the eighth is off the seventh. You all follow me? Alright? So 8 is growing out from the 7th. He's part of the 7th. So sometimes when you're reading it, if you're just running through it, it can confuse you. You've got to be able to put the mapping so that you'll be able to understand what is taking place. Alright? So 5 are fallen. And when they come to power, he will run for a short time. Right, short space. When he comes, he'll come for a short space. Well, that short time is the 3.5 years. That's the latter part. That's the latter part of the tribulation period. And as a matter of fact, in the next verse, when they finally come together in unity, one of the things that the world government is pushing is Genesis 11:6. If the people be one and the language be one, nothing shall be impossible. They believe that if you can create one mind on planet Earth, it will be impossible to stop. Even God recognized that, because God came down and Tower of Babel and says, because the people are united with one language, there is nothing, if they put their mind to, that will be stopped. They will fulfill that here. They will fulfill that here. You will notice that the 10 horns or the 10 kings, which you saw, they have no kingdom. So they are set up, they have no kingdom. But they will receive power as king with the beast for 1 hour. They start to see that people will build their entire life on something that is doomed to fail. You know, let me give you a quick story. One of the ways I look at people who try to build their life outside of God is like if you take a ladder and you lead it on a building, and they go after the degree, they buy land, they achieve this, they set up business, they get married, they have children and so on like that, and they feel all is well. And they have the entire, they climb the ladder up, and sometimes when they climb the ladder up, they don't realize that without God, that building is on fire. And you can have your ladder leaning on the wrong building, that building on fire, and you building going up the road. That's the same thing that happened here. They build the entire army. They have now gained power. They have one mind. They give over all their strength, but they only have power for 1 hour. 1 hour. They gain world influence and authority, but it can't last. Why go for something that cannot last when you can serve God that will last forever? Are you there with me? Here they are trying to gain control of the world, and the last couple of episodes and sessions we've been having is only to gain power over the earth for 7 years. If we follow Jesus, we will be able to rule and reign with him, not for 7 years, but for 1,000 years on the earth, which is just kindergarten before we hit eternity. Are you there with me? Alright? So, they gain power for 1 hour. 1 hour. And then they decide now they're going to make war. So verses 15, you find here that the war is described, and what has happened is when they gain power, what they do is that they destroy the system that get them there. You find that's not in politics. You find so? They use the thing to get them to power, and as soon as they get to power, they destroy the thing that helped them get to power. Alright, so where you see going on that Bible? All that Bible. Alright? So the 10 horns that thou saw, they shall hate the whore, and they shall make war against it, desolate, and totally devour the entire religious system that get them there. So they want to go total political in terms of what's happening. So the whore has been described as sitting on many waters, the beast, 7 mountains. Here the waters are identified as people and multitude and tongues and nations. Right? Peoples and multitude and tongues and nations. Including worldwide influence and authority of the harlot. In verse 18, She is identified as the great city that reigned over the kings of the earth, referring probably to worldwide influence, idolatry, a pagan system centered around Rome. So, which I also highlighted here too as well. Alright? So they decided they're going to make war with the Lamb, but the Lamb shall overcome them. And watch this. For he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. That's the office that Nebuchadnezzar had already relinquished to the God of heaven. So when Christ is coming back, he's coming back with the office. That's the reason why he can destroy the entire system and replace it. Because he has the office to start the thing. Alright? Notice also that when Christ is coming, when he's coming back, he's King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and they that be with him are called, chosen, and faithful. Look at how Scripture will use different terms to show different groups of saints. Remember, you'll have Old Testament saints, New Testament saints, tribulation saints, millennium saints. You have different groups that are here. So you have different groupings that make up his entire army.